my friends, it's me, Karen Valentine, ready to work on this hair painting a little bit more. So before I get started, I was doing some thinking about pencil colors and all that stuff. So I'm going to add the pencil numbers in the description box of what I have pulled out of my case and what I have used already. I may have missed a couple here or there, but I'm going to try and continue to write the numbers of the pencils that I am using. Now, that being said, Carbothello and Stabilo both do not put names on their pencils. Both of those brands only they only number their pencils. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but the gold writing on this one already has rubbed off to where I can't even see it. So my solution for that is to number and name the pencils myself. Now, I have gone and on my swatch charts, actually, I can probably pull one of these out and show you, just in case you're new to my channel and you haven't seen these already. So when I get a new set of pencils, I always swatch them out and with my own numbering system. So I number them 1 through however many pencils there are, and put those stickers on the pencils. I went searching, and I honestly don't even remember where I found this. It might have been on the Carbothello site, but I went searching to find the actual color names for these pencils. And on their swatch charts, both on Pitt and Carbothello, they actually list the name of the color as opposed to just the number. So that's where I got all of these names. I didn't just make them up. They are actually the names that the company designated for the pencil. They just don't put it on the pencil, which just makes me insane. But this might be something that you would like to do as well, because I will tell you that I like having a color number. My brain does not compute with that. I just can't even, for me to just go, oh, I'm using color number, blah, blah, blah. No, I need names. So if you are following along with my videos, and you find that you want to know the color names, just shoot me an email, and I will take a picture. I will actually take a picture of my swatch charts for you and send them to you, so you can see how I've numbered mine and the color number and the color name, so that you can follow along with me if you so desire. And it just might make things a little bit easier, because when I'm doing my work here for the videos, I try really hard. I've kind of gotten in the habit of doing that when I was doing the adult coloring color-alongs, and I do want to continue that for the for when I do these art videos too. So where was I going with that? So you're going to hear me say, that I am now using Caput Mortuum Violet Light, even though it's not written on the pencil. I know it's a pain in the butt, but I can't, and I'm not going to be able to see the numbers because they just rub off. So even for me to try and sit here and figure out what number that is, without having it written down on my swatch chart is going to be really hard. So I know that was like a long ass roundabout way of saying that if you need help or you need to know what the colors are, just shoot me an email and I'll send you my swatch chart so you can see what the names of the pencils are that line up with the numbers. And I'm going to go back into the previous videos and add this list of pencils that I have pulled out in my little tray. And hopefully they're all there. Hopefully I didn't pull some out and then stick them back in the case and use them. But if I did, hopefully I said the number. Anyway, if you need help or you need anything or you're having a hard time figuring out what color and you want to know what color, just shoot me an email. All right. Now I'm done. We can move on to doing the ears. So these are what I pulled out. I pulled out the Caput Mortuum Violet Light, which I can't even read the number. It's like, it's 642. Anyway, I'll have them listed down below. And Caput Mortuum Violet and Light Flesh Tint. So I think we're going to start on the ears now and see how that goes. So I might want to add some... ivory or gold ochre light. A little bit yellow, maybe gold ochre light. All right, so I'm just gonna start. What else do I want? Maybe this Beaster. I'm gonna just put a little bit of this darker color right along the edge here. And I might actually define my white a little bit more. Wow, that shape of that ear is completely off, isn't it? What did I do? Huh. I don't know. This is Beaster. That's still not quite right, but I don't know that it really matters that much. Debating on if I want to do this part real quick. Let's just fill in a little bit with the Caput Mortuum Violet Light. And I'm just gonna, because I don't think I have anything in my PanPastels that comes close to this color. This is one of my favorite colors in the Polychromos pencils as well, and they have it in the Pitts too. It's just such a nice color. All right, so this was our little thingy there, and like that. Let's do the Caput Mortuum Violet. We're kind of laying down some base layers to work on top of. Violet light. I think this is just going to be our base. And then I'm not sure. Do a little bit of this. All right, let's start there. Let's see what. Bit more gold ochre light. And I'm gonna put some more of this white in here. Trying to decide if the if the shape of the ear is bothering me or not. I'm kind of feeling like it's really not bothering me too much. I mean, I could, if I really wanted to, I could round it off. Well, let's just do that, and then I can show you how easy it is to correct on Pastel Mat. Because you have so many layers available to you to use. You can just go right over the top. Let's see, I'm going to blend this out a little bit. This is the Caput Mortuum Violet. I'll do a little bit of the violet light. So my white line is showing a little bit, but I want this to be darker anyway. Oh, here I am telling you how easy it is to cover, but apparently covering white is not that easy. That works for me. That's all right, I think. All right. Do some white down here. Blend that in. In here I have a stump that I wrote white on just to try and keep the contamination of it down, since I blend with the white so much. That seems to help. So we have a little bit of a line right there. And should we try some veining? Why not? So I'm going to hold my pencil back pretty far and just kind of make some squiggly lines. I maybe should use something redder. And then I'm going to blend it away so that it gets really faint. Let's do the, before I start going into details, let's do the back ear. So that's an interesting mark right there. I'm not sure what that is, if that's... This is the back side of the ear, which is interesting to me that I did not realize that they would not have any hair on it. So using the side of my pencil, because we just kind of want to layer, put a nice even layer down to start. And I think I'm gonna add some white to that. Now, there might not be enough pencil down here yet just to blend. So maybe a little bit more. Let's just see what happens if I try and blend this now. Because really, in order for the blending and getting a nice kind of smooth layer down, you got to have enough. Just like with color pencil, you got to have enough pigment down on the paper, or else there's not anything for it to work with. Like there's definitely not enough of anything down here, and that's kind of brown. I'm just going to use a little bit of this Caput Mortuum Violet. It's almost like a gray. It's almost like a warm gray. Let's try my warm gray 5. Might be too much. And so we want a good vein, not exactly in the right spot, but I don't think it matters. I'm gonna do a little bit of this gold ochre light. So, a lot of this hair looks like it's light colored hair on dark, not the other way around. In fact, let's get some of this in here. Don't go too far over. This is Beaster, Carbothello. Okay, we need some pinky tones right in here. Excuse me. And I might mix some warm gray 3 with that. Bit of it might be too dark, but I think it'll be okay. So just putting a little bit of dark right here along this edge. And this actually had a darker edge. All right. Let me just sharpen this up a little bit. Some sandpaper. I do that right into my trash can, which is nice. I have it right at my side. This is not the right color. I need a creamier color, so we'll try ivory. That's the only, well, it's probably not the only thing I don't like about pastels, but one of the few things I don't like, because I like them a lot, is how much more often you have to sharpen them compared to pencils. But it's a small price that I'm willing to pay because I really enjoy working with them. I still love my colored pencils. I definitely do. I think it's okay to like to work with 2 different mediums. I don't think you have to only stick with one. So colored pencils and chalk or pastels is what I like. All right, I'm just gonna put a little bit of burnt ochre in here. I feel like there's still so much work that needs to be done on this. Little tiny detail work. I walk away and I come back and I want so badly to sit down and start fiddling with it, you know? Like this area here still needs a lot of work, and this area. And I keep having to tell myself, no, you can't. You have to wait and do it on camera. All right. So now I'm seeing here that something's not right. Obviously, something is not right. I think my angle, I didn't do my angle right. I did it more straight on instead of at a curve. I am not going to worry about that. I'm going to let that be, but what I have to do is figure out how to adjust that over here so that it looks right. I hope I don't regret that decision, because if I don't do it the way the picture looks and then I get going on the picture, I might look at it and go, what did you do? You messed up. I mean, it's not... Yeah, I definitely did not get my angle right on that. But if I don't look at the reference photo and I just look at the painting, it looks okay to me. So I think I'm going to just, I'm thinking as I'm talking, I'm like, oh, can I fix it? Do I want to? No, I really don't. I really don't. It's not bothering me so much that I feel I have to fix it, so I'm going to let it be. So I'm going to put a base of a little bit of warm gray 3 here. And then the white, and hopefully, let's rub this in, because we want the white to sit on top as much as possible. If I don't like push that into the paper, then when I go to do the white on top, it will have a tendency to blend with the bottom layer instead of sitting on top. So I think that will help. I'm gonna have to come in and add some more dark in here. I can see that it's not dark enough. I think I want to put a lighter color on first and then the dark down in between in this case. Yeah, that bugs me. It's going to bug me. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to be like, why did I make that decision? That was a stupid decision. So I'm going to make the white on here whiter than it is in the picture. I think I would rather have that be whiter than having the brown be whiter. All right, I feel like I'm missing a bunch of pencils that I used, and I don't know where they all are. Yeah, I feel like some of the colors that I'm really missing in the color sets that I have. This is that Caran D'Ache one that are some light, not white and not brown, you know, some really light browns, kind of skin tony colors. And that's what I've got. I think I've got some coming. I think they're supposed to get here today, so it'd be nice if they came earlier in the day as opposed to later in the day. I've stopped buying full sets, although I already have 3 full sets, so really it's, but when you first start, you know, you want all the colors. you want, and it's probably a good thing that I did that, because you never know when I'm going to need those colored pencils. But now I'm only doing like colors that I'll use in animal art, because I think I feel like I'm repeating myself. I probably am. All right, I'm not unhappy with that, so let's keep going. I'm gonna add some more color down in here. Let's see, this was the fluffy fur back here behind his ear. And then this is Caput Mortuum Violet. It looks pretty dark, but I think after we add the lighter colors, it'll lighten up. This is the light. And then I think I might add some raw umber. I don't know, maybe a little bit, because we're going to put light over the top and I want it to show. Okay. Stumps. I think I need to add some more Caput Mortuum Violet right here. Okay. So now the question is what color to use for those little hairs. I'm going to try this gold ochre light and see what that does. I actually think I like that. So in here, it's almost like we're just doing little dots. There's because the hairs are so short that they're not really showing up as hairs, but more like little flecks. And I need to get some dark. In fact, I think I need to do that right now. Get some dark along that back edge there. So I'll use Beaster again. I should have my paper under my hand. I don't. I took the tape off. Maybe you notice the tape is gone. I did that because when it was taped down to the board, I couldn't move it around. And this way I can lift it or pull it down if need be, or move it so that it makes things easier for you guys to see if I need to. And I mostly had it down to give me a nice straight edge for my background anyway, so. Somewhere here, I have my little tiny stump. There it is. These paper stumps are so awesome. They're like a little teeny finger, so you can get in there. All right, cool. Let's keep going. What were we using? This one. So now I can go over that darker area with my pencil, and those little hairs go right over the top. Other than the misalignment of this little bottom part here, I'm pretty happy with how the ears turned out. I also want to show you guys a little trick. It's not really a trick, but something that I want to try doing here for teeny tiny little white detail. And if you are I don't know, if you are a purist, what I'm going to show you is going to be unacceptable, I guess. Or maybe you're going to say that it turns this from a pastel painting into a mixed media painting. I'm sorry. I think if the piece is 99.9% done in pastels, I'm not going to worry too much about this tiny little bit of white that I'm going to put in. So I have a Caran D'Ache Museum Aquarelle pencil. And I first learned about this pencil from Bonnie Snowden. She uses it when she does her colored pencil work, and she loves it. What I like about this pencil for pastel work is that because it's a watercolor pencil, now I could be, don't quote me on this. Let me rephrase that. I believe that because it's a watercolor pencil, it doesn't have the wax binders in it. And so when you use it on a pastel piece, it doesn't get shiny, especially in these small little amounts. So for me, a sharp pointed pencil like this for doing these teeny tiny little hairs, especially the ones that flick out onto the background. Sorry guys, I know I probably should have been zoomed in for that. Let's see. I'm gonna try pushing this in a little bit too. There we go. That's better. So you can see now these teeny tiny little fluffy and so I love that pencil for that purpose. And it doesn't have a shine to it on the page, so I like that. All right, so I feel pretty good about that ear. Let's get some of this. This really isn't white. So maybe I shouldn't be using white. Should I be using like a light gray? This is gray, white. See, it's not. This is where I'm struggling on here, is that I don't feel like I have the right. Let's try this. This is the Pitt Ivory. I think that's better than white for this. Like with colored pencil, I'm used to having, you know, 120 and 150 different colors of 5 different sets of pencils, and I mix them all together. So I can pretty much always find a color that I want. But with pastels, I feel a little bit more limited in my color choices. All right, something, what do I do there? I don't know. Gray. I'm gonna put some gray in. Just a little bit right there. That's it. And this is the gray white. This is a nice pencil. I like this one. As you can see, I've used this one a lot. Thankfully, I'm very grateful to have a Dick Blick, both a Dick Blick and a Jerry's Artarama. About a half an hour drive away, which is nothing around here. Everything is spread out pretty far. It's a pretty big city. But half an hour's easy peasy. So I can go get pencils whenever I need them, which is nice. I don't like paying for shipping on, you know, just a couple of pencils. Don't like what I did there. I did not get that shape right, and I don't like it. So I'm going to try and pull some of that color out. This is a kneaded eraser. Pull that out, and I'm actually going to use a different color. I'm actually going to pull out my Caput Mortuum red. So first, let me put this back in a little bit. And then we're going to use some, I think, ivory. Right here. And I'm going to start by pressing it in a little bit before I start smushing it around, just because I don't want the stump to pull too much of what I put down there already. Okay, so this is super dull, but I think it'll be okay. So I kind of want it to follow the curve of the ear a little bit more. Well, even that's not right, because I should have started closer. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna leave it. It's fine. Okay. Bending's wrong about this too. Okay. Let's figure this out real quick. Proportional divider to the rescue. So that bit right there. Yeah. Okay. All right, well, I do want to fix that because that's one of the things that I like about the ear shape being defined as it is. So, I'm gonna have to try and fix this, which means I'm gonna have to pull out my background color. It's not that defined, it's more like softer curve. Yeah, what did I use for that? Let's see, we used PanPastel, and I'm pretty sure I used a combination of red iron oxide shade and magenta extra dark. So I'm going to use one of my little, one of my little lipstick. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit. In fact, I might even dab it off on a piece of paper. And a teeny little bit of that magenta extra dark. A little bit more. And then I'm just going to kind of try and blend. We still have a light mark from the pencil that I had on there, which I maybe should have. Okay, so let's try. This might not work. I might completely screw this up, but I put a teeny little bit of white on there because if I look over here, it's not as rich and dark. So we're going to soften this, and I can tell that that's working already, so that's good. If you're new to my channel, that is Cooper. If you're an old friend, then you know Cooper's just saying hi to everybody out front, whether there's people there or not. Just going to keep working this until I'm happy. I think that that'll be okay once we work some more stuff in here. I think it'll be fine. Okay. What was I doing? What was I doing? All right, I'm going to zoom back out a little bit so you can see both. Things. I think that's all right. Okay, I was working here. So now, miracle of miracles, this is actually in the right spot now. That's funny. Okay. That's kind of funny. Okay, white. No. Sometimes I have pencils in my hand and it's like, well, where the heck did that pencil go? Okay, so now we can put that white back in. I'm a little bit more confident about letting that go in there. We need to add some brown. Beaster. Is that what I want? Yeah, I guess. All right, let's get some of that in here. If you are what am I trying to say? If you've always been a colored pencil artist, but you are getting older, like I am, like so many of us are, and you're finding that your hands hurt from the colored pencils for whatever reason, you would love pastels, because you barely have to hold the pencil and you barely have to touch the pencil to the paper to get it to make a mark. Which is really cool. It's nice to know that no matter what, at any age, there's always a medium of some kind that you can use to keep making art. Because since I've found it, I cannot imagine how unhappy I would be if I couldn't do art of some kind for the rest of my life, no matter what it is. I would be unhappy. All right, I am not sure what I want to do about this because I don't know what it is, and the logic in me tells me that it doesn't matter whether you know what it is or not. You should still put it in there because it's in the photo. I wonder if maybe I just do I don't know. I don't know what it is, so it doesn't make sense to me what it's supposed to be. Is it a light reflection on the ear? But I can't imagine that would be, I don't know. I can't imagine that would be the case. I'm going to put it in like, I don't know what I'm going to do. This is dumb. I need to make a decision. I guess I'm going to put it in. I'm just going to do it more. I don't know what it is, but it's there, so I guess it's going to go in the picture. So a little bit of gold ochre light. A little bit of ivory. Now I'm not even, I didn't even do it right because I was... I'll just keep it light. All right, so I'm not totally happy with what this looks like. I can see too much of the tooth of the paper underneath. So that means that I need to add some more. And that's just me. I mean, if your decision is to let the color of the paper underneath be part of your painting, then by all means. For me, personally, I feel like if I do that, I haven't done a good job. I feel like I haven't covered the paper the way that I intended to. So there's not a right or a wrong. There's only what you are happy with and what you want. And that's the case no matter what. Don't ever let anybody tell you that what you're doing with your art is wrong. If you like it and you're happy with it, their opinion does not matter. I have noticed being in some groups that people can be very snobby about art, thinking that there is only one way to do something, or that their way is the right way, or if you do it this way, you're, wrong, or you're not an artist, or you're, whatever, you name it. There's going to be somebody out there that's going to tell you that you're wrong. And I know it's really hard. Having somebody say that to you is very hurtful. Now, if you are unhappy with what you're doing, with what you've created, if you don't like it, and having somebody give you some constructive criticism saying, well, you could change this, you could change that, this would make it better, that would make it better. That's different. But if you are using a certain technique, or you're doing something that makes you happy and that you are proud of in the end, don't ever let anybody tell you that what you did was bad or was wrong, because shame on them for ever saying that to you in the first place. Because, art is subjective. It is, it's a personal thing. It's according to your eye and what you like. And it breaks my heart when I hear stories of people that somebody in their life when they were young told them that they, weren't any good, that they would never amount to anything as an artist, that they would, whatever, you name it. And quite often these are people of people in power, teachers and parents and things like that, where those people's opinions can affect your entire life by saying something cruel or callous. And it affects people to the point where they stop making art and they stop doing the things that they love, and that just breaks my heart. So if you're a grown-up and somebody ever said that to you, tell them to kiss your hiney. I'm darkening this up because I just it keeps blending out to where I can't see it. So I switched back to the Caput Mortuum Violet. All right, I am going to use a little bit of burnt ochre. And blending with my finger always seems like it takes less of the color away. So that's why sometimes can't always do it. Sometimes you gotta use a stump. But pressing instead of rubbing sometimes helps to. All right, I am having a hard time getting all this cool texture that I managed somehow to get in the inner ear, or in this ear. I'm having a hard time getting what I want on this ear. So I feel like it needs to be blotchier. I'm going to also see if I can, I'm going to move this in since we are just concentrating on the ear. And then that way, maybe I can zoom in some more. Let's see, push this up. Let's zoom in. There, maybe that'll be better. Okay. Actually, that's almost, I want to say it's almost bluey, but it's not really bluey. But could be making a mistake here, but I'm gonna try something. I don't know why, but I'm gonna try this Violet Deep. We're gonna blend it in, so hopefully it won't look purple when I'm done. Yeah, I think I like that. All right, I'm going to add some white hairs. I think, actually, they don't need to be white. They can be cream. What did we use on that one? Let's try the gold ochre light. Is it going to show up enough? It might not. Okay, one more try. We'll try the ivory. That's better. I feel like the back of the ear would have hair on it, and it could be that it's just kind of, you know, out of focus, and so we're not seeing it. So I'm going to put some hair, and we'll probably blend it out a bit so it's not real obvious, but it'll give me the texture I think that I want, that I feel like I'm missing. I wonder if, I hope my hair was not just in film. I was really pulling myself up tight to the, sometimes that happens. All right, I'm going to break down and put this in heavier. I I don't know why, but I'm going to. See, I feel like when you look at a photo, you ignore stuff like that because you're looking at the photo and your brain and your eye automatically thinks that that is supposed to be there because it's a photo. So of course it's supposed to be there. But when you're looking at a painting and there's something there that just completely does not make sense, to me, then your eye and your brain is going, well, what is that? Why is that even there? And that's what I don't want to have happen. This has to be the back of the ear, right? It's not the inside of the ear. You wouldn't see the inside of the ear from this angle. It has to be the back of the ear. Apparently it's just not very furry and it's translucent and you can see right through it. That's just the only thing I can think of that... Okay, so still need some dark, I think Caput Mortuum Violet, or maybe I used a purple. Let's try the purple. Violet, sorry, Violet Deep. I'm trying to break out of my comfort zone and use colors that I would not have used before, or colors that colors that I wouldn't have used before. Like I would not have imagined to put purple in here. And yet, when I do it, I really like the way it looks. It looks right. Kind of the same thing with trying to get in the habit of using opposite colors on the color wheel for making shadows. Instead of just using grays and browns and blacks for shadows, you know, using the opposite color on the color wheel. I'm still not super comfortable doing that yet. I haven't like gone full on into doing that, but it's on my list of things that I really want to get better at and try. All right, so I'm going to just really brighten up. This is that Museum Aquarelle. Now keep in mind that when you use, if you use this, there's no changing. There is no fixing. There is no going, ooh, I need to move that. Ooh, I don't like that. This is permanent. Once you do this, there's no changing your mind. It's a done deal at that point. There is another option for brighter whites, and I'm going to show you that as well. But for right here, where I really want super tiny detail, this is it for me. This is the way to go. Okay. To zoom out. And I want to work in this area right here, and then I will check the time and see where we're at, if we have time to keep going or if that'll be it for this one. So I'm going to put some raw umber down. I wonder if I should use PanPastels in here. Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to use raw umber shade, I think. Maybe not. Although I probably should, because I'm never as dark. You know what? I'm going to just do it because I'm never dark enough. And I always wish that I would have gone darker. Seems like for under paintings. Maybe I'll mix the two. I've got raw umber shade and just raw umber, so I'm just kind of mixing the two of them. And really, I need to be using the PanPastels more in here because there's shades here that I don't feel like I have in my pencils. So, okay, so now I need a really light warm gray. Let's try warm gray 1. Although I feel like that's not that's not it either. Nobody's got the colors that I want. Let's try ivory 2. Okay, I'm a little, let's see, this comes up here. This all around here. And then this is dark, so my dark sepia can go in here. This is the Pitt. You can always tell the difference because the Pitts are the brown barrels and the Carbothellos are the colored barrels. Starts to coming off. Now you can use a, I find I can use a much firmer pressure when I'm using the Pitts. ochre. I'm going to sharpen up my ivory. Wait, maybe I have another one. I might have one that's already sharp. There we go. Okay. All right, so we blended that out a little bit. I'm going to come back in. A little more burnt ochre and a little more dark sepia. Up. And this needs to be darker. I want to work on that. I want to work on that eye a little bit. This is the dark sepia. Because this hair actually is quite a lot darker than what I've done. And it's almost, it is all kind of all the way down here where it needs to be darker. It's actually all in here too. Yeah, I can see I need to go darker in a lot of places. Sometimes if you sit back and you kind of try and let your eyes go out of focus a little bit, if you can do that, it helps to see where you need to go darker or lighter. You can also convert your photo to black and white. And then all you're seeing is the values as opposed to the colors, which is something that I really need to do because I struggle with getting my darks dark enough and my lights light enough, even though I know that that's what I need to be doing and working on. I still have to work really hard at it. Okay, so something about this that's, so I'm gonna put some warm gray one in here. Maybe I use my, oh, I probably shouldn't, but I'm gonna just see what it does. Because once you do it, there's no turning back, and you can't even really go on top. So you probably shouldn't, because I probably shouldn't have, but it worked out okay. It worked out okay there. I might actually wind up doing it up here too, but before I do that, I'll try the white. It's just not bright enough. All right, so here's the thing that I was going to show you before, and sometimes it works great and I love it, and sometimes I don't. So I have a bunch of Prismacolor new pastel sticks. I'm not using them as often as I would like to, only because I get so into using my pencils, and because that's what I've been using for the last 2 years, so I forget. But a pastel or a pastel stick is going to give you a brighter white or deeper, brighter colors than pencils quite often. So I'm going to zoom in here, push this down because we don't need to be. Okay, so I did sort of sharpen. I used a knife first to kind of give it a somewhat of a point, and then you can use your sandpaper just like but it's really, they're firm, you know, like, but they're very soft. So when you want your whites to really show up, you could use one of these. And I can already see that it's making a big difference. But because it's this big fat square stick, I find it harder to get you know, good detail with it. Not impossible, just harder. But look how much brighter white that is now, and I could not get that with my pencil. Now maybe if I had the Caran D'Ache white, I could have done that, because they are apparently one of the softest of the pencils. I like that. I'm glad I did that. Okay, so is there anywhere else where I want to get it really, really white? Not really. I might do just a teeny little bit right there. And we might use it along the back, because the fur is not as teeny tiny as it was up here, so that could work. I just put a teeny tiny little bit there on the eye as well. Okay, so I'm going to check the time and decide if I'm going to come back and keep going, or if I will start filming for another video, because I'm trying to keep these videos at about an hour and a half. That seems to be a good length, and not too long. Sorry, it's hard for me to talk and work at the same time, apparently. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera off for a minute, and then I'll either come back and say goodbye, or I'll come back and keep working a little bit. Okay, we're pretty close to, you know, being at the end of where I need to be. But there are still a few things that I just kind of want to mess with and work on, and then we'll finish up. And that's just because every time I kind of step away and come back and look, I see things that I don't like, or things that I want to work on, you know. So just kind of filling in this area here, because it looked a little bit light with pigment. Okay, and then probably over here a little bit. I'm gonna use burnt ochre. This is interesting up here. This will be interesting to try and get that looking right. Yeah, I don't even know if burnt ochre is the right color. It's a little pinky. So I might do a little bit of this Caput Mortuum Violet Light. Blend that in. Then when you go to light. I'm thinking that even though I put white along that edge there, I'm kind of thinking that might have not been a good idea. I'm going to see if I can't just soften that down a little bit. Mostly because I don't want a hard white line right there. I want to be able to make that softer. So that's good. That's better. Okay, how do you I'm gonna have to figure out how to create this look here. That's gonna have to be another video, I think, because that could take me some time. I think what I'll have to do is kind of do those clumps coming in from the top. That looks like that's gonna work, and then we'll darken it in. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So we'll have to get this all nice and dark so we can do and work that way. Yep, I think that's what's going to happen there. I'm just gonna put a little bit of golden ochre. This needs to be longer. This little bit right there actually comes all the way down here. So let me fix that and then we'll be done for the day. This is why that proportional divider is so nice. I don't know how I did that, but I managed to. You can get carried away, you know, when you're working and forget to follow your reference photo, which I do sometimes more often than I would like. But already, just in fixing that, it's already looking better to me. It already looks like it's more in the right proportions of what needs to be there. So that's good. Now we've got these little teeny tiny hairs. Just turning my pencil with every stroke. And I want to get a little bit more dark. Because somehow I covered it all up. So I'm not, you know, covering the whole thing. I'm kind of trying to get in there with the dark in between the light hairs. Something here is not right. So maybe I do need to just blend that out. Because this should be a little bit more of a defined. So while I'm at it, let me just get a little bit more dark right here. Comes down into there, and then this That's not bad. Okay. Not too bad. Yep, all right. I think that's a good place to stop. Okay, so I will probably keep going because I'm in the zone. So I will stop the video, turn this into part 4. I'm losing track of I'm losing track of what number this is. I'm sorry. So I'll do that, and then I will start the next one and just keep going because I'm having fun and I'm in the zone. So until I see you guys on the next video, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Happy arting, happy coloring. Bye.